สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์สวัสดี
ครับท่านอาจารย์ครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัส
everyone
ดีค่ะ So Betty, I heard you saying that you've been to quite a few funerals, so maybe you can talk about what the realities are when we talk about funerals.
I guess we can talk about the Juti Jitta and the Patisandi Jitta that would arise before even the funerals begin. But certainly, I can remember, when we had my husband's cremation 3 years ago. And in Thai custom, it's the wife's duty to pick out the pieces of tiny pieces of bone to keep in little urns that close relatives will bring. And I remember thinking, thank goodness for Dhamma, because I remember thank goodness for Dhamma, because as I was doing this, I'm saying, just Rupa. And so it was easier for me to perform that particular act.
And at a funeral is actually just like now, seeing, hearing.
That's right.
Thinking.
Momentary death is going on all the time. Every nanosecond, momentary death is going on. Certainly.
And seeing now, or at the funeral, thinking about different stories, thinking about this one or that one, or thinking about wisely or unwisely, just like now, or just like in the supermarket, still just seeing and hearing and thinking. But it seems like it's something special or different, but actually the Dhammas at that time are just like
there
now.
are no different from the Dhammas every day. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Living in the world of stories all the time, no matter here or there, at home or in the market.
We're always living in the world of stories.
In Melbourne or Cambodia, it's just, or Bangkok, just living in the world of stories after the seeing and the hearing. Always forgetting about just what appears now.
Right.
Okay, let's see if anyone has anything they would like to bring up, any questions about the Dhammas. This morning with Tiffany, we were discussing about how, in truth, no one to control the mind, no one to have kusala sila, no one to follow precepts, no one to focus on breath, just different dhammas. We think I should do this, or I should focus on breath, or I should go to a quiet place, or I should contain the mind to have kusala chittas. But it's actually a fantasy, because they're just different dhammas arising and falling away by conditions.
Well, Sarah, the other day, my daughter, she's said this many times, but the other day she said it again, and that is, she doesn't understand the idea that we are sitting around waiting for conditions to happen. And I said, it's not like that. Conditions are happening all the time. And everything is on conditions. There's no you or I. If you believe in anatta, there's no you or I to control anything or have conditions. She says, well, what do you mean? I don't understand this waiting around for the right conditions to occur for X to happen. I said, honey, that's it all day long. That's every day, every nano moment is whatever conditions arise. That's the dukkha-ness, if you want to call it that, because the conditions are arising. There's nobody to control it. And they don't arise necessarily. Things don't arise the way you might want it. And that's exactly what dukkha is. So they arise when the conditions are correct, when they're right for them to arise. If they don't arise when you want them, it's dukkha, and there's no you to want it. So, that's the way and she just doesn't she just doesn't get it.
And you can ask her, Who is it that is waiting for anything?
Yeah.
When we think it's I who is waiting, I'm waiting for conditions, or I'm waiting for dhammas to arise. But who is this I that is waiting? Can this I be seen or heard, or is it just thought about that I am waiting, or my mother is waiting? Yes. Because in truth, no one there to wait for anything.
Right.
At a moment of seeing who is waiting.
Yeah. I said, do you understand or not that? She said, oh, yeah, I understand. I said, but then you're telling me you don't understand it. So anyway, but I'll ask her next time, who's the person,
Who is waiting?
Yeah, who's waiting?
And who is the person that understands or doesn't understand? Is it my mother or John, or who is there that can understand? Because at a moment of understanding, it doesn't belong to anyone at all. So it's not this one understands and that one who doesn't get it. It's just moments of understanding that arise or don't arise now.
Good, I will do that. Because, when you're talking to a relative, it's much harder because there's an emotional attachment to the relative. Whereas if you're talking to somebody who's not a relative, it's much easier to speak and explain.
Yes, I think that when the attachment conditions more impatience too, one gets more emotional or more frustrated easily. I think that's true.
Absolutely.
Like I'm sure it was the same for you when you were teaching. For all the years I was teaching and counseling, I was so sweet and patient with all my students. But then, yes, with those ones close to, one can get impatient and irritated and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, attachment conditions, that impatience.
There has to be some control, but or what you think is self-control.
No control at all, no self to be controlled, just different dharmas arising and falling away, moments of kindness, moments of irritation, moments of patience, moments of impatience. All dhamma, all arising naturally by conditions. It's not my daughter, it's not me, they're just different dhammas.
It's just dhammas. There's no Betty, there's no Nom, my daughter.
No.
There's no none of this. Oh.
Let's see if Ajahn would like to add any comments. Ajahn?
So now, what is it again? See, we talk about Kun Betty, Kun Sarah, and situation, and on and on. What is now? See, different moments by conditions arise and falls away, just like previous moment. That's all in life. What about no understanding of the truth at all? Just live with the idea of atta, someone and something, and the world goes on as people and things, different situation, on and on and on, endlessly. Never stop at all. No end at all. Is it sukha? Or is it so boring? Just that. So we think just now as it has to be another now at another moment, on and on and on and on, endlessly. That's why we learn to understand what is better, to understand the truth that can end up that which now no one can stop the way it is. It's gone and arise again and gone all the time. There is ignorance and attachment unknowingly, even right now, different degrees. As soon as one gets up or wake up, I is there already. But in truth, it's just a conditioned moment arising and falling away. Never arise again and again and again and again in samsara. That's why even it's so very, very difficult to understand the very, very subtle truth right now. But it can be developed, it can be a little more understanding the way it is, whether it better go on endlessly, or there can be moment of seeing that life is so short, unexpectedly, this moment unknown, and it rise again, born again, and die again, born again, and die again, as different life, the life of cat, the life of angel, the life in hell, and so on, non-stop, just a moment conditioned to arise and gone, endlessly, or it better to end up. What's the use of that which is conditioned? Not anyone at all. Only by condition now, arising and falling away, non-stop. That's why we learn to see the danger of the truth. Nothing is permanent at all. As they are seeing right now, a conditioned moment to experience pleasant or unpleasant by conditions karma. And the moment of death so close, who knows? So no understanding of the truth at all. Just live this life as Sarah, as Sujin, as Kunbeti, and so on. What about next life? Beyond expectation. No one can make it rise. No one can change it. It's the way it is. Who knows the next life? Whether there can be a moment of listening to the truth of what is there right now, or just live in the water, or as a bird, or a cat, or snake, who knows? That's why the precious moment in life is just talking about the truth of life, to not be forgotten, not to be forgotten, that is just right now, until it's clearer and clearer to understand what it's meant by a conditioned moment. Only no one there at all. Is it precious? Just to understand the ultimate truth, it's gone instantly, unknowing all the time. Unexpected moment. Anatta is there. But right understanding is not enough to let go the idea of atta. So it seems like I see and I go and I do, but in truth, all are conditioned moment. That's all. So it is ignorance clinging to that which appears as something, but in truth, nothing left at all. When there will be right understanding enough to see that each moment is dukkha, the first Ariya Satya, dukkha Ariya Satya. When it's true, it should be realized, even so far to reach the moment of fully understanding the truth of what we are talking about. But it has to be developed just from moment to moment, patiently. Khanti Barami. And Khanti Parami is not just for enlightenment, it's for any moment in life to be wholesome, not to be as unwholesome as usual. Otherwise, the akusala cannot experience the truth at all. So the moment of kusala, even just a moment, is so very precious because it can be more and more, little by little, patiently, with Virya Parami, Satya Parami. So what about daily life today? Is that parami? What parami? Dana parami? Or sila parami? Or nekama parami? It can be learned, it can be realized from moment to moment by conditions. So now it's a moment of beginning to develop the understanding of the truth, to realize the truth of that which is not permanent. One day, we don't know when. But it has to be by conditions only. Without understanding right now, little by little, there can never be the moment of realizing what we talk about right now. No one. So what about daily life? Any situation? Should it or can it be moment of beginning to understand by not forgetting? It's just real now, hardness. It's just real now, that which is seen. No one there at all. So we can learn about realities by different aspects. Is it Dhatu, the Nama Dhatu, the Rupa Dhatu, and different Pachya, little by little. So now, for sure, no doubt about Saha Chata Pachya, for Chitta and Cetasika arising right now. They cannot be separated. They have to arise together, experience the same object at moment of seeing. It's by Kamma as Pachya, just to see, only a moment of seeing. Only 7 Cetasikas arising together to condition seeing right now. So seeing cannot like or dislike. It doesn't know what is there at all. But it's the beginning of next moment to take it with Vitaka Cetasika. Just touch that object. Keep on going, thinking, dreaming about whatever is there. From seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, to thinking, mind process. Life is only moment which is conditioned to arise and gone, never to arise again. But what is there appearing is not known as it is. This is the point, to be reminded. It is only that which is seen. How come to be Kun Betty, Kun Sarah, Kun Jonathan, Sujin, and so on? A chair, a fork, a spoon. It's just dreaming about the shape and form of that which is seen from moment to moment, condition such sign and shape of something to be known long, long time ago, up to now, and on and on, if there's no development of understanding of the truth. That's why just talk about what is there in different manners, different aspects, to have more understanding of the truth of it. That's all. Touching, seeing, thinking, hearing now. Is there anything else? Depending on conditions. So can seeing understand that which is seen? See, some questions can be conditioned for a little more considering. Seeing cannot do anything at all besides seeing, just right to see one moment only. But the world does not appear as just the sign of seeing only, but that which is seen together. And other reality seems to be in a moment. That's why it's the word of ignorance and clinging to what appears as something or someone. The word of atta. In truth, no atta. No matter what we talk about, it concerns this moment, the realities right now. Or are there in a moment different jetasikas, different dhatus, different ayatanas, and so on? Just to know the way it is, as no one, not any atta at all. Understand the truth of it, beginning to understand how much ignorance of this moment. So we can talk about anything to have a little more understanding of anatta-ness of this moment. Anatta is every moment, but not now, because now atta every moment instead of anatta, as long as right understanding is not strong enough. So have confidence, adidana of Satya Dhamma, to be the foundation for the development of understanding the truth gradually, so very gradually. What about if we don't talk about it at all? No condition to even thinking about the truth of this moment. So we can talk about the truth of anything right now. The word in Sutta, Abhidhamma or Vinaya, all are dhammas. So what is not Dhamma now?
We can't hear you, Betty. I think you're speaking, but we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I was just kind of talking to myself. There is nothing that's atta. I mean, it's just everything's anatta. There's no world of atta. It's just the way it is.
And like Ajahn was just stressing, it's always this moment. So whether now there's thinking about the funerals or about one's daughter or family member or the Winter Olympics, it's just thinking now, just seeing now, thinking now, always just this moment. But we live in the dream, the stories about the funeral, the family member, the Olympics, the lunch one it, but it's just thinking now, just seeing, hearing, thinking. That's why at a funeral or here or in the market, still just seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking all day, every day. But because of being lost in the stories all the time, it all seems to be something somewhere utter
Right.
all the time.
So
It's just this moment of thinking now.
So it can be time to think about vitaka, see, cetasika, the foot of the world, of each moment. After seeing, vitaka is there. Touch that object to be object of other doorway, to remember it as something, the story and so on. So now, no doubt about vitaka cetasika. It's there unknown. But Buddha pointed out each cetasika as it is, as its characteristic, its function, its manifestation. It can be known when there is time unexpectedly, depending on what degree of understanding and how great accumulation of understanding to understand the truth of what is there appearing. So now, what is there appearing is not known yet. So it needs more and more considering about the reality of what is there, one by one. But it cannot be forced. It cannot be at will. It's only by condition. Each word concerning the truth of it, little by little, can condition moment of instantly instantly, it's always anatta, each moment, instantly arise, whether it is awareness or attention to the characteristic of that which hasn't been thought about before. Even we use the word nama, vitaka, or any reality. And this is the very subtle Dhamma. So what about feeling? It's there, not attained yet. Memory, sanya, marks and remembers each moment, not attained yet. But since we talk about it, beginning to understand that it's now, marks and remember that which appears as something, little by little, not at will, but by conditions, it begins to let go. Strong understanding about realities as someone and something, little by little. Just one object. I'm seeing a doll. See, the thinking is about only one reality which is seen by shape and form. Vitaka is there, condition each moment about touching it, touching again and again and again until it's the idea of something, a doll. See, not just seeing or hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. The other moment of citta experience the same object, but not by seeing at all. Only a moment of seeing. As vipaka, nobody can choose the object of seeing at all. It's there already. That's why when it's begin to be a little more understanding, clearly understanding what is there when it has a reason now. See, until then, understanding that which has a reason now. No one can make it arise. So it's the begin to have a little more firm confidence of anatta. Understanding anatta not yet, until it's there by conditions. The reality which is there now appearing by conditions. Understanding that which has a reason now, in order to understand the moment when it's gone, because it's just only one reality attained as it is, little by little. So now there is attention to the word, to the term, to the meaning, but not yet that degree of attending to the nature, the characteristic, the truth of what is seen or experienced. Different degrees develop gradually, very subtly, unknowingly, until time comes when it's there, by conditions, begins to be clearer and clearer, little by little. But without understanding a little more of the truth of each reality, what can condition such moment? Impossible. Just like now, not yet, by conditions. All dhammas are so true, so real, but they do not appear as they are yet. Because whatever can appear as it is has to be only to right understanding. from the first round to the second round to the third round, clearer and clearer. So now, does the sound appear clearly? See, not at all, because there are many things around that which is seen, and many things and sound, not just only sound is heard. So it's not as clear as we think. That the sound is clear, but it's not as clear as it is. And that which is seen cannot appear as it is now, because there are many realities seems to be together, arising together, it's there together. But in truth, just only one reality, one object at a time appears to that which experience it by conditions and gone unknowingly from when we begin to talk about it until now. Anytime. Life is so subtle.
Ajahn, paramis are not enough.
All dhammas. All dhammas. What parami? See, panya parami has to be conditioned by hearing, considering, understanding gradually of what is there appearing, the truth of it. Without understanding that which is now appearing, how can it be parami, the condition to realize the truth, the realization to the truth of what is there as it is? Because what can be known is only by way of nimitta. Just one moment cannot be realized at all by way of vitijita, one by one. So what can be realized has to be that which we say, savanajita. Not the seeing can realize the truth, not the sampatichana, not the santirana, not other moment. See? All are in darkness. That is true. Only one speck of light at moment of seeing only is light. Is it true? That's why it's so clear, because just only one reality appears as the object of understanding. Only one at a time, through the minder only, because seeing cannot understand anything, hearing cannot understand, and the process of these experiences can be realized as it is one by one, not all together like now. And this is the first round. Pariyatti, understand the absolute truth. It cannot be changed at all. Mind our process cannot be sensed of, but it can experience any sense or object. Mind our process can experience anything. No one, from moment to moment. And the word Buddha is right understanding, the great understanding of the truth. It's the words of truth. It's the teaching to realize the truth. How great it is. Great miracle, see, realize the truth of just one reality only through the mind of darkness.
That's more than pariyatti.
More, much more. That's right. If there's no understanding of the truth, it conditions the idea of trying to do this, to concentrate, to go somewhere. See, what about now? Right understanding understands that which is now has arisen. Only that which has arisen now. See, gone. Otherwise, what's gone? What falls away? If it's not just that which has arisen now only. The
Yeah,
way
both. Sorry, Tanuja, please continue.
is concept.
You just wanted to say that even though pariyati is not enough, but when pariyati arises, it's right. It's never wrong.
About the Achan this morning was explaining about the pariyatti, understanding the difference between sati and Vedana. And now she's explaining about the nature of just one of it, either sati or Vedana. But that's yeah, that's
And
why
pariyati, and that is pariyati, knowing the difference, even at this level, and knowing that pariyati is not patipati is correct.
beginning with seeing the difference of different dhammas to be able to take into account just one, make for just one to appear, for the nature of each one by one. Yeah, the different. Yeah.
I think the point that's being made is, for example, sati. Unless the understanding has developed until it's direct understanding of dhammas, it's just an idea about sati. So the characteristic only appears when it's being directly experienced. But if there's the idea of trying to understand sati or trying to be aware of Vedana, then that is not pariyatti understanding. Or if there is the idea of having more paramis or trying to have develop more paramis, again, that's the wrong path, because that's the idea of I subtly wishing to have more paramis or trying to do this or that to have paramis, instead of just understanding any dhamma that appears. And that's why Ajahn made the comment about all dhammas, any dhamma. Otherwise, it's like the one who would like to have more metta and focuses on metta or focuses on sati, so that sati will develop. But in fact, it conditions less metta, less sati, because lobha is there, trying to be aware of sati, trying to have more paramis. What about akusala now? What about hardness now? Any dhamma without any selection or idea of having more paramis, whatever appears now.
Yeah, which dhamma now?
Any dhamma that appears, if there's the idea of which dhamma or selecting any dhamma, if one says, okay, how about focusing on vitakana because we just talked about it, or sanya now. It's not the right way. So we discuss about different dhammas, but not to try to be aware of it, not to focus on it. Otherwise, it's just like those who go to a quiet place and focus on rupa or focus on breath. So all dhammas are anatta, not selecting any dhamma to be aware of now at all. If one says which dhamma should one be aware of now, that's not understanding dhammas as anatta.
And when it's pariyati understanding, it's different from patipati, which knows exactly which dhamma. So pariyati does not know clearly which dhamma, but there can be understanding, even because the level of understanding is very low. It does not appear which exactly.
And even when it's direct understanding, it's not which dhamma in the sense of this is the dhamma that should be known now. It's still by conditions. Who knows at any moment whether a visible object will appear, or hardness, or seeing, or kindness, or anger. Just depends on conditions. No thought of which one now.
Well, when Ajahn explained each Dhamma, it's a condition to get closer to that Dhamma, and otherwise, how would it be possible to begin to understand specific Dhammas one by one?
It's in order to, it's for the letting go of the idea of someone or something, like vitaka now. Without vitaka, there's no thinking about any object, no thinking about weddings, or funerals, or family members, or about different dhammas. So vitaka is very important. That's why it's a foot of the world, essential for the touching of any object after seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. At any moment of thinking, vitaka is there playing its important role, but it doesn't mean try to be aware of vitaka. It's just pointing out that there is this reality, like sanya. Without sanya, no thinking at all, no remembering, no thought about the funeral last week. But it doesn't mean there has to be awareness of sanya now. So it's just considering the nature of different dhammas to understand what life is at this moment, and to let go of the idea of I that thinks or experiences, or this situation or that situation. So the clinging to I is so deep and subtle, wishing to experiencing, wishing to know it, instead of just considering, reflecting, and then it's up to understanding when it arises by conditions what is understood. No choice, no expectation at all.
Listening is not necessarily trying, but anyway, yeah, there must be lobha for at the level, our level. It's mostly lobha anyway. No matter what we say, no matter what we even right now talking about not trying to. There is lobha anyway, so it's
it's a dhamma. It's not ours. It's not what we do or we don't do. They're just different dhammas arising and falling away, moments of loma, moments of wise considering. But when it's wise considering, no thought of selecting at that moment, no preference for this dhamma or that dhamma to appear. So it's about the development of understanding naturally, to let go of the idea of I or we or choice or selection, because the attaditi is so very deeply rooted. So if there's an idea of let's have more paramis now, or okay, let's be aware of vitaka now, it's not the careful considering and listening at that moment, because it is I choosing or selecting, trying to be aware.
You mean like going to selecting a particular place or moment of the day to study Dhamma or something like that. I'm not sure. Well, anyway, I take your point.
And that's another situation, right? When opening the book, moments of thinking, kusala, akusala, avihakata, dhammas. So it's not about the opening of the book or the reading of the line. It's about the dhammas, the different dhammas, all anatta. Otherwise, one thinks whenever one opens a book, it must be kusala, or whenever one reflects about vitaka, it must be right, or but it's not like that at all. So that's why the Satya Parami is so important, the Satya Jnana, understanding truthfully about this moment. So even now, kusala, akusala, all the time.
You say that the Dhamma is not in the book, so no point, But it's more about discussing and listening and discussing.
And this moment, it's about this moment. No matter discussing or not discussing, no matter in the market or here in the Zoom, it's always this moment. And the more understanding, the more confidence there is that it is just about understanding now, anytime, any place, any activity, because there is only the seeing that is conditioned now, or the thinking that is conditioned now. Otherwise, it's I should be here and not there, or opening the book, not turning on the television, and so on. But that's not the understanding of Dhamma now.
But without discussion, there cannot be the thinking about it later at another time situation. So one can think of discussing as the base, and then what follows, like maybe thinking about Dhamma while watching TV or washing the dishes or cooking is maybe because of the listening. Otherwise, how could there be thinking about Dhamma at other times if there isn't the listening to the Dhamma and discussing of the Dhamma?
Well, we know there has to be the hearing, the listening, and that can be by reading or listening. It all depends, but it depends on the wise considering and the accumulations. Some people may listen and there may not be any interest or any understanding. Others may just listen for a very short time, but it's enough for understanding to develop and accumulate. So,
so instead of discussing, can we say without Chinta Maya Panya, there cannot be Bhavana Maya Panya?
But without Sutta Maya Panya, there cannot be
Chinta Maya Panya, and without Chinta Maya Panya, there cannot be Bhavana Maya Panya.
Yeah, sure, of course. But the first is Sutta, isn't it?
Yes. So Sutta Maya Panya doesn't equate to reading the book or discussing. It is the level of understanding.
Yeah, sure.
It's about the understanding at the moment of hearing. It's not about how many hours of reading the book or how many hours of discussion. It's about the understanding when coming across the Buddha's teachings.
Definitely, yeah. It's all about understanding.
And it has to be daily life. Some people think that, they should never answer the phone and should never go to the market and should never turn on the TV and should just listen to recordings all the time. But that's wrong understanding. It has to be the understanding now in daily life, anytime, anywhere. And more confidence of understanding. So it is anytime, anywhere, always just this moment, seeing now, It's just the same as seeing in the market, just the same as seeing when opening the book. Otherwise, one gets stuck again thinking there can't be any understanding when one's not having a discussion or listening to the Dhamma.
But we are stuck anyway, no matter we listen or not.
Just for moments, but at moments of wise reflection, moments of understanding, not stuck at those moments. And that's why they're so precious whenever they arise in the ocean or in the market, anywhere.
Even now.
Now, anytime. So when you said earlier, paramis are not enough, what were you meaning? What was your idea?
Talking about ignorance, the ignorance being so much, and the parami being like so little. So no parami, no panya, no parami, no understanding, and no understanding, no paramis. That's why it's samsara is so big, so long, so huge, so and, all, encompassing all the existence, like even in as we know, even in deva realms, and still stuck with ignorance.
And it's no one who is stuck. If there's ignorance now instead of understanding, so what? It's just a conditioned Dhamma and it's gone. If there's understanding now, so what? Another conditioned Dhamma, it's not my understanding and it's gone. Each one is dukkha because it's gone instantly, not a refuge. Kindness now, or boredom now, they're just different Dhammas. So the understanding has to develop without selection or wishing for particular dhammas or minding what arises. So thinking about, oh, there's no understanding and there's only ignorance and not enough paramis, is that with wise consideration? Is it chintamaya panya, or is it with sadness or wishing for more paramis? Just depends on the citta. Just depends on whether it's wise or unwise consideration at this moment. So it's always back to now.
Yeah, we can say that it's ignorance because we can safely assume that there is ignorance now and attachment and all.
Right. So even though it's a Dhamma discussion, countless moments of ignorance and attachment, just like when one's turning on the TV or in the market. So that is how it is from waking up till going to sleep, mostly ignorance. And they're just dhammas. It's not my ignorance or Jan's ignorance or anyone's ignorance, just dhammas arising and falling away.
The good news is that it's anatta.
It's anatta, that's right. It's uncontrollable and it doesn't belong to anyone, just like the panya doesn't belong to anyone.
Because some people think that anatta is something which somehow is taking something away from you. I used to think like that too. So even understanding at pariyati level helps to pass that point of being less attached to the idea of self.
And that's
Mhm.
like Betty's daughter's comment about, oh, waiting for conditions. It's still the idea of someone waiting, I am waiting, or someone who is losing something by not having a self. There never was a self to lose. So
Yeah,
there's nothing to lose because there isn't anything. There are just different dhammas arising and falling away. So the pariyatti understanding has to develop until it's so firm to condition the direct understanding, no selection at all, no focusing on sati or vitaka or any reality to be aware of, just considering different dhammas, all anatta, to understand that they're all anatta. No expectation of what will be known or what will be appear. No minding what will be understood. So life is easier and easier with understanding because there's more and more letting go of the idea of I and my ignorance, my understanding, what I should be aware of, where I should go, what activity I should follow, how I should or shouldn't turn on the TV and so on.
there are eons and eons and eons of accumulating more and more self, and then beginning to let go a little bit. It's even if it's very little, it's still wow, what a change!
Right.
Such a
And it's
difference.
not I that lets go either. It's just moments of understanding that let go little by little,
Mhm.
but not my understanding that lets go.
That's right.
What do you
All
mean by
dhammas, all
letting go in
anatta.
this context anyway?
Sorry.
What do you mean when you refer to letting go little by little?
Yeah, the overwhelming sense of self. The
So,
you know the thing that goes beyond words, which is not um, that doesn't independent of words. It's not.
But if one is aware, it recognizes an overwhelming sense of self, and then lets it go, as it were, that is not the letting go of understanding, is it really?
letting go by the teachings, only by listening to the teachings.
Yes, by the development of understanding, I think.
By development, yeah, by development of
Yeah.
understanding.
Because it's
just the
seeing them.
understanding that lets go.
Yeah.
I think what Alberto is referring to, that there is more moments of understanding of no self, what otherwise would have been a lot of self in a day.
Before hearing the teachings, no idea at all that,
And even after hearing the teachings, there's still
that there are just
understanding.
dhammas. Okay. Robert, did you want to join in the discussion? Or Jan?
Hi, Sarah. Yeah.
Jan, would you like to add any?
Oh, sorry. Were you talking to me, Sarah? Yeah.
I did it first because you put a note. Anything you would like to add to Alberto's
I'll
discussion?
just go to a quieter place. I'm at a soccer game at Nina's at. Just 10 seconds walking out. So, like I said in chat, there's many ways to look at pariyatti and patipatti. But if it's real pariyatti, for sure it is mahakusala chitta with panya, chitasika, even at pariyatti level. And it's the same general type of chitta, even when it's patipatti. But of course, the understanding goes a bit deeper and the objects direct. It's a direct understanding of the object. And even after there's pati pati, real pati pati, where the object is understood, there's still pariyati that must be coming in later again and again at that level. So we can understand that's one way to look at pariyati and pati pati. You know, and just general comments. I mean, I don't mind during a day when there's lots of ignorance or lots of other akusala, because I think it's all the way it has to be. So I don't think we should be measuring ourselves too much and feeling uneasy that we're not making the progress we wish for. That's just showing an excess of desire and probably misunderstanding where we could be. You know, we just should be very grateful to know that we have the chance to understand only because of listening to the Dhamma. So like these Zoom talks and any other time that we read or consider, without coming across Dhamma, we would never even begin on this long path. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
I
you,
think
sir.
what you're referring to, Robert, is it's not a matter of monitoring one's mind states through the day at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, monitoring's a bit of a loaded word. I mean, obviously, from time to time, there will be some a little bit of understanding of the mind state. Of if there's dosa, that's very clear that there's dosa, and we might remember that dosa is a kusala. And I mean, sometimes I reflect in that way when there's dosa that, what am I angry with? You know, there's just nama and rupa, and it's already gone. So it's not absolutely turning away from monitoring, but the idea of continually trying to monitor would be a wrong attitude, a wrong way of going about it, for sure, Jonathan.
Right. And it's not necessarily a matter of having less dosa either. If dosa arise, I think you said that you don't mind if there's
Right.
stronger kusala, because it's conditioned to arise. It has to be that way.
Right. And that's
Dhamma is
the
not
general
taught
attitude.
for the purpose of changing the mind states that as and when they arise. Yeah.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Right. Thanks.
Nevertheless, because we've listened to Dharma, you know, we've read all the stories, we may occasionally reflect in a wise way, and that dosa drops away. I mean, like some people, I was reading about some person who's held a grudge for 30 years, you know, some deep grudge, and is always planning how to get revenge on a person who did something to them years ago. I mean, I think that would be unlikely for most of us just in this chat, just because we know that that's entirely akusala and it's based on some sort of dream world. So, you know, there can be some degrees of dropping the dosa.
That's
But
also
Robert, there can
entirely
be
possible.
attachment. Yeah, it's possible because, for example, the other side, there can be attachment, say, to your children for years and years and years. So I guess there can be dosa towards somebody for years, even though in between there's understanding.
I remember one
Yes.
time when the topic came up with Ajahn and someone was talking about the dosa, and Ajahn said, I don't mind at all whether it's dosa arising, because it's, what is it that minds so much? It's just more clinging to oneself. So what about just understanding whatever appears? And I don't know if you remember, Robert, a very long time ago, sometime you said to me, is there more awareness in a day than there used to be when you were younger, or 10 years ago or something? And I said, I don't think about it at all. And Ajahn said, oh, very good answer, because I don't think about, was there more or less than yesterday or last year or 10 years ago? It's all gone. It's all unimportant. What about now? What about now? That's all.
Right. I certainly wouldn't have any expectation that there would be more moments of kusala than before now. Anyway, I would However, there would be more appreciation of the Dharma maybe than years and years ago. That's all I could say. Yes.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying also that with the appreciation of Dharma, there will be also the appreciation of the value of kusala and the harm of akusala. So, yeah.
And also the appreciation that any Dhamma can arise at any time unexpectedly by conditions. So less expectation, less minding. Who knows what will arise the next moment?
Yeah.
If there's a hearing a very loud noise, who knows whether there'll be aversion or thinking about this or that.
Absolutely.
Or by conditions
Sure,
unexpectedly. Yes. Okay, let's see if Ajahn
Right,
would like to
just
join
more
this.
some thinking.
Ajahn, would you like to add anything to the topics that Alberta brought up or any of these topics?
We are talking about, no matter what about the understanding of the reality of the Nama and the Rupa? See, because even we think that we know, we understand the nature of Nama and the nature of Rupa, but what is now? It's still someone, it's still something. So it means that there's not enough understanding of the nature of what is there until so long time in the future from now on to begin to attend truthfully to the reality which experiences the object. Even right now, we can talk about seeing sees, but the nature of seeing is that, and it sees that which is light. So it's not enough understanding of the true nature of realities because it's just about what is there as that which experiences, no doubt about it, that it sees, it experiences a visible object, but not yet the realization of the nature of that which cannot be taken for anyone or anything because its moment of that which is there by conditions sees. It has reason to see, but no thought about it at all because there cannot be the very clear and keen and sharp understanding of the moment of understanding that which is different from that which cannot experience hardness, softness, smell, taste, and touch. But it's that now experiences what is there every moment. That's why there can be the understanding a little more firmer and firmer about the differences between the three rounds of the Arya Satya. No doubt about Nama and Rupa now, and the other Jatasikas by way of Tatu and on, but it just the conditions to develop, not to forget the truth of it gradually, so very little by little, until it's strong enough, unknowingly, by conditions, it's there, a reason arises and experience the truth, little by little. For example, there's touching right now, for sure, but it's not yet the condition to realize it, being aware with understanding only that which is hard or soft or hot or cold at all. That's why what we are talking about is what is there in life, for sure, from moment to moment, no matter what life in this world or other world, they are dhammas. They are all dhammas. They are conditioned. That's why to be true to the truth, how much understanding, how much attention, how much the development of understanding firmer and firmer. For example, at moment of anger, when it arises, what follows? The idea about it, not wanting it to arise, thinking about it in many ways, not to continue on being angry. But what about it's not I or anyone at all? It's just a characteristic of a reality which cannot be changed whenever it arises. It's there, its nature, it performs its function. No one there at all. That's why no matter what we are talking about in different aspects, by way of this and that, just to be conditions to be the moment of attending little by little to that which experiences in order to realize it when it's there. Only one reality as object of understanding. That's why we can talk about anything to understand it a little more, no matter what about this moment or other moment. By conditions, that's why keep on understanding the differences between each reality as much as it can be known, like sati and satta and vitaka and chanda and sati. See, little by little, not to think or remember it, but to understand when it's there, little by little in life. So Dhamma is life, or life is Dhamma. No one there at all. Even right now, hearing is a moment, condition to listen, not just to hear what is said, to be understood gradually, little by little, better than none at all. That's why it's so very precious, each moment of understanding the ultimate truth. There cannot be anyone or anything or atta at all. Each reality is anatta. And the point to understand is the truth of that which experiences an object and that which cannot experience the object. Because from hearing, it seems it's not difficult. It's not as subtle as it is because it's there and it appears, but not as it is. For example, at moment of getting angry, anger is there. The idea about it is there. The self is there. How can it be less, or how should it not arise again and again? Just the idea. But no one there. Anger is a reality that experiences the object by its characteristic, its nature, to be angry anytime. That's why life goes on as natural and usual, listening, considering, until it's so firm. So, what about daily life? All adhamas, the moment of akusla, cannot understand anything at all. It conditions more attachment to what appears as something all the time. Even just the moment of waking up, instantly, I wake up. I all there each moment in life. And in truth, learning to understand the reality which appears as its characteristic, not other characteristic. To understand it so short and so different. And nothing can arise again after it has risen and fallen away. And this is life. The understanding of the truth, condition, parami, the wholesome moment, more than the unwholesome moments as before, when there's ignorance, no understanding of the cause or the result at all. But now the understanding develops gradually in daily life. Otherwise, it means that no understanding of the danger of akusla at all. Little by little, it goes on. Nobody can know when the condition would be ready to realize the truth. But when it's there, anattana is clearer. Even right now, some moments can condition moment of thinking about anatta, but it's just very few moments. But the more understanding of the truth, it lets go the idea of self gradually by itself at moment of understanding the truth, little by little. And this is what Buddha taught. To understand the truth, that is so very, very subtle. Right understanding now is the path, the fourth noble truth, the first round. Not at the moment try to find out the Sammatiti and the Sammasankappa and so on in word, but it's not try to collect the words, but to understand each word as it's not anyone or anything at all, little by little. So what are there now? As much as we can know, only some, one or two, but there are more than that. And it can be learned. It can be firmer, confident of the truth. And that moment of understanding, it lets go by itself, the idea of self, gradually, so little, until it is the moment of the second round. Instantly, be aware with understanding of what appears now, no matter its hardness or sound or seeing or hearing or thinking. Is it true? Only by conditions. Sankhara Dhamma, Sankhara Khanda, or no matter what, Vedana is what Khanda, and why it's so important, whether it arises with each moment of experiencing an object. And everyone who takes what appears as something by ignorance just want to have pleasant feeling. See, no understanding of the truth that even pleasant feeling is not permanent at all. It's gone instantly, each moment. So now it's the condition to begin to develop right understanding closer and closer to the truth directly, as it is the second round of the Four Noble Truths. Unexpectedly, less and less wishes or expectation to have it went over at all. Is this patijja samuppada? See, not the word, but ignorance is the conditioned kusla or akusla moments by conditions, no matter what degrees, what level of kusla and akusla and karma and on and on.
Sarah, hello.
Hi, Maeve, go ahead.
Hello. Oh, just listening to your comments about not selecting an object, and I was wondering about the role that acceptance of whatever appears plays. I suppose in that restraining from trying to select an object or wishing for a particular reality to appear, etc. But I couldn't think of a cetasika or parami that corresponds to acceptance. In fact, we probably don't speak about acceptance very much, but it just strikes me that it's part of adjusting to the unexpected and the undesirable, all the subtle things that happen that are not as we would want them to be. And yet what you've been saying is that that should not necessarily be a hindrance to understanding. And so I was wondering if that element of acceptance was part of that. And the nearest that I could I suppose imagine acceptance to be was a kind of patience, where we don't know for how long or under what conditions understanding will arise, and so that seems to be the quality of patience. So I wonder if you can just comment on that question, that rather long roundabout question. That's all my questions.
Good reflections, Maeve. Good for everyone. And when understanding, when panya arises, of course, it arises and develops with detachment, aloba, the opposite of attachment or loba. And I think that is the nature of detachment or aloba, that it is accepting what is conditioned, what is arising, what appears. It's the opposite of selecting an object, which is loba, and usually with the idea of I as well. So when panya arises, there is detachment, there is acceptance or detachment from whatever appears, never mind whether it's anger or kindness or attachment or seeing or hearing. They're all conditioned dhammas. So what? It's just whatever appears by conditions. So I think that the development of right understanding conditions more detachment, more kusala, patience with however life goes at this moment, good news, bad news, health, good health, bad health, a little more understanding, a little more detachment, because of understanding that whatever arises now, pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling, it is by conditions. It can't be any other way. It's just how it is. The object that appears for understanding is just what it is. If it's anger, it's anger. It's just that all dhammas, all anatta. So this is why I think that understanding of the truth, as Ajahn mentioned, does condition the development of paramis, but very slowly and gradually, without wishing, without expecting, without trying, without selecting, because that is all just the accumulation of more clinging to self. So I think you're right. I think it is more acceptance that is the nature of detachment, more equanimity. Tattramajatata is the equanimity which arises with all moments of kusala. So at moments of any kusala, at those moments there is equanimity, which is another word for acceptance.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Thank you, Sarah.